is scientist Dr. James Chagall and his elite team of warriors. Together they are indestructible. Together they are Macron 1.
Remember Macron 1? The giant robot series vanished after 13 episodes, leaving fans confused. The real story behind it is even stranger. Here are 10 facts that'll completely change how you remember this show, revealing secrets wilder than anything on screen.
Demonstration model of the teleportation unit.
Show me how it works.
Watch closely.
Number 10. The Cosmic Job Interview. Here's something that probably went completely over your head back in '85. That massive robot wasn't just fighting bad guys for kicks. The entire backstory reveals Macron 1 was actually sent to Earth by some supernatural power as a test to see if humanity was worthy of meeting alien civilizations from across the galaxy.
Macron team, let's play it safe and form a Darkstar link-up.
What for? I'm not afraid of them.
Think of it like a cosmic job interview, except failing meant we'd stay quarantined on our own planet forever. The show buried this philosophical angle under all the explosions and laser battles, but it was woven into the entire story. Every battle wasn't just about stopping Darkstar, it was about proving humans deserved a seat at the galactic table. Makes you wonder if we passed the test, doesn't it?
Yes, we could conquer the universe.
Our technology is as good as theirs. If we had the secret of the power source, we could teleport too.
Number 9. The Ultimate Power Source. Every great robot needs fuel, and Macron 1's came from the stars, literally. A meteor crashes into Earth, and scientists discover it's radiating this mysterious energy called Beamler, which becomes the power source for both the giant robot and the Good Thunder Fortress. That's why the fortress could teleport around the globe in seconds, appearing in Tokyo 1 minute and New York the next, which was mind-blowing animation for Saturday morning TV. The bad guys wanted Beamler for world domination. The good guys wanted it for defense, and kids just wanted more giant robot punches. But Beamler was more than just plot fuel. It represented this idea that the universe could drop game-changing technology on us at any moment. One day you're living your normal life. The next day a space rock lands, and suddenly, giant robots are possible.
Dr. Bridger programmed me with very clear priorities, Nathan. First you study, after you've done your homework.
Big boy.
Good afternoon, Anders speaking.
Number 8. The punching bag that saved the day. Lord Geraldine kept a personal robot named Clarence around, but not for the reasons you'd think. This mechanical sidekick's main job wasn't combat support. It was being a stress relief punching bag whenever his boss threw a tantrum. You'd see Geraldine lose it after Macron 1 foiled another scheme, and he'd just start wailing on poor Clarence like the robot was a therapy session with circuits.
I just had the most wonderful dream, Andy.
Really? What did you dream? I hope you like the fruit salad. I tried a new recipe.
You'd make a wonderful wife, Andy.
Every episode, without fail, Clarence took the abuse while Geraldine screamed about those meddling heroes. But here's the kicker. This abused robot somehow ends up playing a crucial role in the show's finale, proving that even punching bags have their day. It's like the ultimate underdog story, except the underdog is a robot programmed to get beaten up. You almost want to cheer for Clarence more than the actual heroes by the end.
Faster, you fools! They're getting away! What?
Number 7. The villain who just wanted a franchise. Not every bad guy dreams of world domination or dark fortresses. Lord Geraldine, that memorable blue-skinned henchman, had way more practical ambitions than his boss Darkstar. His real goal wasn't conquering dimensions, it was opening a fried chicken restaurant chain called Kernigal's Fried Chicken, and a burger joint called Kerdonald's, complete with what we can only assume would be evil-themed kids' meals.
Yes, they've already begun mopping up on everybody who's stupid enough to fight back, Your Highness.
Yes, seriously, this is canon. While Darkstar was plotting dimension-hopping schemes and threatening eternal darkness, Geraldine was basically working on his fast food business plan. It's the most relatable villain motivation in anime history. Who hasn't dreamed about owning their own restaurant? Makes you wonder if he was even really evil or just misunderstood and working for the wrong boss to fund his entrepreneurial dreams.
Keep your strategy simple. Don't harm the meteor particle.
I'm not stupid.
Number 6. The Shadow That Stayed Hidden. Darkstar was the big bad pulling all the strings, but he understood something modern villains have forgotten: the power of mystery. For almost the entire series, he appears only as this menacing silhouette sitting on a throne, always cloaked in shadow with just his outline visible. You never saw his face, never saw his real form, just that ominous outline making threats and issuing orders.
Your Majesty, the Annihilator is now ready to attack.
hero should we place in command of the robot, Dr. Fritz?
The showrunners held back his true appearance until the very final episode, building anticipation like a magician saving their best trick for the grand finale. When you finally saw what he really looked like after weeks of wondering and playground debates, it hit different because you'd been imagining it for so long. Every kid had their own theory about what Darkstar looked like, and the reveal either confirmed your worst fears or surprised you completely. That's masterclass villain design right there.
Warren has learned that our enemies were able to monitor his memory banks with their primitive computer and thus have learned the secrets of Captain Blade's insectoid fighters.
Number 5. The grown-up magical girl. Kathy Jameson, the female pilot who held her own against the guys, had a secret connection that Japanese fans spotted immediately, but American audiences had no clue about. Her original character, Remi Shimada, was designed as an adult version of Minky Momo, one of Japan's most beloved magical girls from earlier anime.
Pretty dumb, all right. They're all piled up like a big bunch of bananas.
Same voice actress bringing that familiar energy, same speech patterns Japanese fans recognized instantly, same personality quirks, just all grown up and piloting a war machine instead of granting wishes. It was like seeing what happened after the fairy tale ended and the magical girl had to get a real job. The creators basically asked, what if your favorite magical girl grew up and joined the military? And Kathy was the answer. American kids had no clue they were watching Magical Girl alumni every Saturday morning, but for Japanese audiences, this was a delightful Easter egg connecting two different genres.
I'm no genius myself, but obviously the best education must begin from the bottom up.
Number 4. The self-aware robot suicide. The show got surprisingly dark with one particular robot villain. The writers created an enemy mech designed to look exactly like Gundam's RX-78-2, the most iconic robot from their rival franchise. It was clearly a playful jab at the competition, but when this copycat gains sentience and realizes what it's being used for, the violence, the destruction, it makes a choice that probably made parents suddenly pay attention. It announces it doesn't want to fight anymore, rejects its programming, and destroys itself rather than continue being a weapon of war. That's some heavy existential stuff for a kids' show that was supposed to sell action figures. It's like if your action figure suddenly had an identity crisis and threw itself in the trash rather than participate in your imaginary battle. Makes you wonder how many kids asked their parents uncomfortable questions after that episode. Number 3. The villain on tranquilizers. Captain Blade seemed like your standard evil henchman in the American version, intimidating, competent, ready to execute Darkstar's plans. But the Japanese version was completely different. In the original script, this guy ran a side business selling his own brand of tranquilizers called Cutnalizers. And he wasn't just the manufacturer, he was completely hooked on his own product. We're talking consuming them by the handful on screen in scenes that definitely wouldn't fly past American censors in any era. The localization team had to completely rewrite his character for US audiences, stripping away the entire tranquilizer subplot.
Keep your strategy simple. Don't harm the meteor particle.
I'm not stupid.
Imagine trying to explain that plotline to concerned parents in 1985, who were already worried about what their kids were watching. Well, you see, this villain is addicted to sedatives, probably wouldn't have gone over well at the PTA meeting.
Jason Templar, a man from his past. It seems Sharky is bent on vendetta.
Number 2. The classiest villain ever animated. Prince Eharn redefined what it meant to be a bad guy with style. This dandy prince refused to enter combat without proper ambiance, so he'd blast classical music, Mozart, Beethoven, the heavy hitters, from his ship's loudspeakers while attacking the heroes. Picture a space battle where one side's soundtrack is symphonies and concertos.
This is absolutely right.
About what part of it?
About the need for a plan to destroy them.
He'd show up holding a rose or a glass of wine, like he was attending an opera instead of trying to destroy the heroes. If villainy had a dress code, Eharn wrote it and enforced it with laser cannons set to symphony. He made being evil look effortlessly elegant. While other villains were shouting and ranting, Eharn maintained his composure like a true aristocrat. You almost wanted him to win just because he had such undeniable class.
Sharky's the man who wrecked some of our secret military bases in the Middle East.
Then why did we hire him? Why don't we get rid of the guy?
Relax, Blade. We want what he wants.
Number 1. The Frankenstein monster. Here's the wildest secret that changes everything. Macron 1 wasn't even a real show. It was a complete hack job born from corporate necessity. Saban Entertainment needed enough episodes for US syndication, but they didn't have them from one series alone. So what did they do? They grabbed footage from two completely different Japanese anime, GoShogun and Mission Outer Space Strungle, with different storylines, different character designs, different animation teams, and Frankenstein them into one story.
Perhaps you could teach me how it's done.
Different animation styles that didn't quite match, different plots that had to be merged, just stitched together with new dubbing and creative editing. You were basically watching two shows pretending to be one, and most of us never noticed because we were 10 and just happy to see giant robots fight. That's why some episodes felt off or the animation quality jumped around. You weren't imagining things. You were literally watching two different shows wearing a trench coat.
Here, launch Blastar. Warp Star, Red Eagle, Hercutron.
Bonus fact, the dark sequel nobody expected. Want to know how the story really ends? There's a sequel movie called The Team Étranger that takes a shockingly mature turn, aging up the story by 40 years. Remy, that's Kathy Jameson in the Japanese version, ends up catatonic after a devastating car crash, trapped in her own mind. Her old teammates, now middle-aged, have to reunite and fight through a psychological dream world to save their friend, dealing with themes of mortality, regret, and lost time. Way heavier stuff than Saturday morning cartoons prepared you for. It's the only piece of the original GoShogun that many American anime fans ever saw, and it probably messed them up a little when they realized their childhood heroes got old and faced very adult consequences. The tonal shift from goofy robot battles to existential drama is jarring enough to give you whiplash. So there you have it, 10 wild facts plus a bonus that prove Macron 1 was way stranger than you remembered from those Saturday mornings. From Frankenstein editing that stitched two shows together to tranquilizer-popping villains, from fast food dreams to cosmic worthiness tests, this show packed more insanity into 13 episodes than most series manage in 100. Until next time, keep your Beamler charged, your fortress ready to teleport, and your classical music playlist ready for battle. This is One Transmission signing off, but the memories live forever.